You know, I always kind of thought that looked rather familiar for those of you that may be living in a different area. That's an interesting mountain. But hello, everybody. This is Rob, and welcome back to Satisfactory. We did a little bit of wandering around last episode and took a couple of, did a little bit of wandering, or should say wandering, looking and seeing and stuff. We did a little bit of surveying out in this area to try to figure out where we were going to do a couple of things. And then I kind of sat down and I did the math. And the math is going to take me a little bit longer to accumulate all of the parts and the pieces than I had anticipated, at least at this point, to the point that I actually want to immediately today, or at least immediately today once we get done talking about a few things, we're going to be back in base because we're going to go ahead and automate those thermal propulsion rockets. They're going to take about 8 hours in-game to craft, and there is a very, 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 very good chance that that whole process that we're going to have to do in order to just get the radio control units up and running is going to take at least that long just to build. So I am going to go ahead and say we're going to put this together, get it running, and then we can kind of go ahead and start working on this next section of the project. So there's a reason why I want to do this, and it's kind of, well, ugly, really. It's ugly in of the fact that if I hit my button and I go over where you guys can't see my my spreadsheet, we're going to need somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 aluminum casing. 2,000. Now I know that's not, that's a large number, but the problem with that 2,000 number is where, let me grab one of these real quick. Right there is where this gets really silly. 2,000 aluminum casing. Of course, we're going to use the alternate all-clad aluminum sheeting thing here. Just in that number alone, there's something like 2,700 aluminum ingots, 5,400 aluminum scrap, and like 3,000 total aluminum ore, just in the aluminum. Copper's not too terrible, it's like 1,300, so it's something we can do kind of simple. But just in that one section, we will need more than what we're producing over here, to a tune of like 30 refineries just working on the aluminum. So that's going to be a gigantic project. It's going to be like one of these things out here, only like probably more like that one over there, or on the level or the size of our fuel production facility. Just that thing. Like I say, I'm expecting this monstrosity that we have right here, built here, to not be anything close to what this is going to look like. So what we are going to do before we get into the next section is we're going to pop over to one of my websites that we have, or I've been using for a while, and we're going to kind of talk about what we've been doing here. So let's go. Alrighty, so for those of you that don't know, this is where we're going to kind of use this as a little bit of a planning thing. This website is called satisfactorycalculator.com, and I highly recommend that you guys figure it out. There's a lot of good stuff here, plus there's a lot of very usable information. And what we're going to do today is we're going to use the resource node mapper that comes in the functionality of this. I'm doing this mainly so that I can plan. I know where most of these nodes are. I forget how many thousand hours we've got at this point in time, and I say 1,000 because I think it's like 1,500 hours at this point in the game, probably a little bit longer. But what we're going to look at is we're going to try to figure out, like I was kind of explaining, where we want to go. So in order to build the radio control units, we need the rubber and the plastic that we already have over here on the, what they call the Gold Coast, or wherever this is. I don't know exactly what this one's called. But anyhow, we have 1,000 rubber and 1,000 plastic already being produced over here. And doing the math, I don't think we need to expand our oil production anymore. So I think we're good there. What we do need is we do need a bunch of copper. We do need a bunch of deuterium, we do need a bunch of coal, we do need a bunch of aluminum, and we need a bunch of raw quartz to be able to build everything that we need. So that's gone and made that map pretty stinking ugly. So let's scroll into where we're at, and I'll show you the reasoning why we're looking at this. Mainly because of the fact that we've already utilized a good portion of everything on the western half of the map, except for some of the stuff down here. We've also utilized a good portion of everything down here, so to include this coal and a couple of other little things. So I'm saving this copper and possibly this copper for our final product, our final tier 4, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing, tier 4 thing. The nuclear pasta requires a lot of copper, so I'm saving this, and I'm you know, kind of spoilers, we're saving this copper right here for a reason. So we're going to move on up into this area, which is kind of the reason why I've started to look, or where we're looking at where we're going to build. So let me hit the view full screen so we can kind of see the idea of what we're looking at here, and scroll in just a little bit. Now we know I should actually go ahead, hey, give me that. The reasoning why we're right here, and I guess I should actually do this. Let me do this way. Resource well, and we need the nitrogen gas. There we go. Now we've got everything we need. Cool. Kick this back open to full screen. The reason why we're over here in this area is because there are 3 locations for nitrogen gas. There's the one that's way up here. There's, well, 4. There's one that's way over here, and then there are 2 down here in this corner. Now, as far as I know, all of those are pure. Every single one of these are pure. There's an awful lot of this nitrogen gas. We need an awful lot of nitrogen gas. A lot of it. So part of the reason why I want to build this right here, again, I hate fluids. I don't want to have to cart this very far. If we need more, there's some more over in this general area. That'd be a lot of fun to get it over in this area. But again, I figure we'll be building the fused modular frames probably right in this general center section right here in the middle of the picture. This is where we're going to build them, because we have the rock quartz that we have needed here close. We have deuterium, we have aluminum, we've got coal, aluminum, more aluminum, lots of water, more copper that we're not using, more deuterium, more copper, more aluminum, and of course, if we need it, a bunch of quartz and more deuterium up here. The issue is, and I've already looked at it, and I think we've already spoken about it, the numbers are a little crazy as far as what we need. We need something in the neighborhood of 3,000 aluminum ore and 3,000 water in order to be able to make 2,000 aluminum casings per minute. We're going to need a little less than 2,000 casings, but 2,000 was a nice, even, easy number to route to. So that's also going to require 1,350 copper ore just to make 1,350 copper, all that kind of stuff, just to make those casings. So, well, probably right around in this area somewhere is where we're going to be building those aluminum casings. I thought I wanted to build them back here in this little spot. We're going to try to centrally locate the idea between the water, the coal, and the aluminum that we're going to need. So just in that number, there's, well, there's not even remotely close to enough as far as this goes right here. I think there's like 1,800 coal or 1,800 aluminum right here. And that's if we go ahead and max it all out. There's quite a bit of aluminum here. And again, I think in this central section in the picture right now, we should have enough room or enough aluminum to be able to build that deal. Now, as far as the copper goes, there are 3 pure copper nodes right here. Those 3 pure copper nodes will do us for as long as we need to, and for that matter, for the amount of copper that we're going to get out of those, I need 1 and a little bit of another one. So we won't even bother doing the refinery trick with these. We're just going to smelt that stuff outright and then run it into whatever we need as far as to be able to make things work. Same thing will probably happen down here once we decide to start using those. Now, the other kind of interesting thing is I've already kind of looked at this. For crystal oscillators, we're going to need, where is my map? Crystal oscillators, we're going to need about 150 crystal to do the amount of crystal oscillators that we need, which means one of these. We're going to need around 300 quick wire, which I believe between this and this, we should be able to sort that out simply between it and the other one. Now, we're going to use the circuit board recipe that requires plastic and quick wire. So all said and done for this, we're going to need about, I'm just going to say 1,000 quick wire, which we can do 1,000 quick wire with that one normal node or this one pure node, or this normal node. Between those two, we should be able to make 1,000 quick wire. The issue again is we're probably going to need a little bit, I don't think we even need copper in any of that, if I remember correctly. I think we have a little bit of copper right there for the crystal oscillators, yes. Because we need copper sheets. Again, copper's right here, simple, easy, once again. So the crystal oscillator slash circuit board factory likely is going to live probably right over this lake, something kind of right in here, maybe. These are not going to be very big factories, and for that matter, we're going to be belting most of this stuff in, except for, well, I'm probably not going to belt the aluminum in. I think the aluminum casings, we're going to be bringing this in here. We're going to run it in via train because we need so much per minute, and this is a reasonably long distance to run it on a belt that I figure we can probably just run a single train with one or two of the the containers on it, just running it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, just so that we get enough stuff, so that when we get to that point, we'll be able to just bring our wonderful little heavy modular frames in from over here, drop them into this, and then we can do the rest of the system. So I think with that being said, we can move back over to, don't close that, we can move back over to the other picture. So let's go back over here. Alrighty, well, with all that discussion said, I think the next step, like we stated, is we're going to start working towards part number 3 in complete phase for objective up there in the top right-hand corner. So that's going to mean we need to make 1,000 thermal propulsion units, and 1,000 propulsion units are going to require us to make, or at least gather up a few parts. So check out this manufacturer. There is only one way we can make them, at least as far as I know, and that is in a manufacturer. It will require modular engines, turbo motors, cooling systems, and fused modular frames. Now, 2 of these are the same number, which means we only need 1,000 fused modular frames and 1,000 turbo motors. We're going to need a good number of the modular engines and a good number of the cooling systems. So I've already got these kind of set up in a box, at least a couple of these things set up in a box, and we'll be able to use those just fine. Cooling system, of course, is right behind us being utilized and, well, being produced in this mass, which is kind of the reason why I made too many of them anyway, because they're a good way of making a little bit of points. And, of course, the modular engines, I just turned those back on, so they should start accumulating over in this area, and we'll start producing those. So we should only ever need a decent enough of those things. So I've got just a container full of the rubber because we don't really need to bring any more over, and if I need to, I'll just fill that container back up. But everything else as far as that system has been, well, automated for a good long time. We've got a bunch of stuff underneath of it that takes care of it. So we're going to go ahead and build in this one more time in this little area. And we're going to put down a couple of the manufacturers. And I promise I turn the dang trains down, but you know how those go. Everything kind of gets a little bit loud occasionally. But anyhow, we need to do the thermal propulsion rockets and thermal propulsion rockets. Now, I want to make 2 of these per minute at least, because that way we'll just have time to get it done. 2 per minute is going to be just perfectly fine. And for that, we may end up trying to figure out a way to continuously feed this into the system once we get into one of these awesome sinks once we get them done. But the point now is we're going to be very kind of waiting on those machines. So they're really slow to make, and these are going to require 2.5 or 5 per minute of them to be able to make 2 per minute of them. So we're going to bring them over. We're going to get it sorted. So everything we need, I think, should be over here either in those or right here on the belt. So let's, I guess since those are up in the air, we'll do this easily. We'll start with you and put you in right there, right? So where are you? I don't feel like you're on the belt. There we go. Okay. And then you to there. And you do the same thing. I guess it's going to snap kind of feels like it's snapping. To there. And then this needed to be about right where? Get off the thing. Quit snapping. Control. Quit. So that one should be about right there. Right there. And we'll just do that. Nope, not that. Over one. All right, there. And then those will take their sweet time to go into that. Cool. How many did I end up with in my inventory? I don't think we ended up with any of them. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Cool. All right, so those are 2 pieces. Those are going to be very, again, rather slow to kind of produce. And once we get a little bit of this stuff backed up, we'll turn all this stuff on. So again, turbo motors, we have all of this stuff built right here. So the next thing I'm going to do is we'll just grab that. We're going to do these kind of slow. How am I out of stuff? Turbo motor, splitter. All of this is kind of slow anyway, so it doesn't have to be very fast. I don't need you guys. Cool. That might actually be really close. No, we gotta go down, don't we? This is where I love doing this kind of stuff. Jimmy, gimme one of those about right there, maybe? So, in the center of that belt, 1. And then we're gonna have to go over the top of it. And then just give me the slow stuff. That should dump turbo motors in. Nice. And then again, same kind of a principle here. Nope. Point it the right direction. And then again, same thing here. We need a bunch of those. I feel like I'm short. Why am I short? 900 and whatever. Probably because I put a few in this inventory here. Take those. And then you can come down here. And you can go over there. Yes, I understand that these are a little out. I don't, again, really care. So, that is going to make the, well, the thermal propulsion unit. So let's go ahead and pop some of this down. I should not have taken that belt out, but I guess, whatever. We'll do about right there. And there. I have the mod shut off at this point, so I don't believe it'd even work anyway. Wow, that's not where I pointed. There. All right, turn them on. No power, no power, no power, no power, no power. Where? Oh, we haven't set the power up. Click. Here. Here. And those should start buffering up. We just need to run this all the way over there. And a 1, a 2, and in. What are we short? Modular frames. There you go. What are you short? Modular frames. I don't know why. That's weird. Oh. 1 second. Let me fix that problem. Yeah, let's get the right modular frames this time, eh? Let's get the right ones. We'll put those in over here. Sometimes I think I know what I'm doing, and then I look at it and go, what are you doing? No, 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 not even remotely close to right. Anyhow, I tore all that out, so let me belt it back in. And now we can put some stuff in here. And let it work. And there we start them up, making some thermal propulsion rockets. Let's see, these are gonna be really, 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 really slow, but at least once we get a little bit more over here. You know, I wish at times you could just drain a belt simply. Like, you know, just click a button on a belt saying, put it all in my inventory and be done with it. Here, have what I have in my inventory. Go to work. Go to work. All right. Give me my stuff back. Should have already had one made. Where did it go? Did it already go out? Well, for what feels like an eternity later, there we go. That should have been the first one. And then followed shortly by the second one. Well, in about another half an hour. Whatever. Oh, no, there's two. Oh, it's 2 per, 1 per minute, 2 per, whatever. 2 per, however that works. I don't know. Anyhow, there we go. We got those guys going into the system. Those will go over there and start adding that number of 1,000 up. And again, that's going to take quite a while. We will start doing a little bit of, well, I'm going to start getting, probably just gathering up all the resources over there into one general location. Still need to build the train line, still need to do a few things. But we should be well on our way very shortly of being able to do some things. I actually have a half a notion to just pull the AI limiters that we have right here in over there because we're making way too many, but I do not want to introduce anything from this base over into that system because that just means I'm not counting my numbers correctly. So I guess, ladies and gentlemen, for now, where did they go? For now, that's where I'm going to call it. So I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.